This is Dr. Flight. I hope you're doing great as we begin to wrap up week number 7 in MBA 631 marketing strategy. So I hope you're having a great week. I think that this week's material is pretty interesting. I know that you guys have been working hard. This week is focused on firm resources. There's a whole big concept called resource-based theory of the firm, and that's the basis for this particular week's worth of material. And how we identify a resource or an asset, it has certain characteristics which you can follow the VRIO framework to identify or to assess a resource. And if it meets the criteria of VRIO, and you can add an N in there if you want, if you've watched these videos, then it's going to be a resource or an asset the firm possesses that can be leveraged into a sustainable competitive advantage. And so that's why this is really key. These are the elements, the base elements that help one firm differentiate itself from another firm. And so that's what this week is all about in terms of thinking about that. So the readings deal with that. The context of the content of the chapter deals with that idea. And so I think there's going to be a lot of value in how you think strategically. If you think about a resource that you can acquire, which helps you stand out from competition, and then gain a market-based advantage of some type. It's leverageable for what we call a sustainable competitive advantage, an SCA. So that's what this is all about. The readings deal with that. The text deals with that. There's a really cool 2x2 resource portfolio model that has some different names associated with the resources that you could have, like the crown jewel, which is what you want when you have a advantage over your competitors on a resource, and it's a resource that's leverageable in the marketplace. Again, that's a crown jewel, and there are 3 other ones there too, which you'll learn about. Again, as we wrap up this week, I think there's a lot of value in understanding the resources firms offer. The reflection this week, again, this is a new reflection. It should be kind of interesting, I think, dealing with the phenomenon called dupes, where there's a duped company and a duper company, and the products are similar. The dupers are basically duplicating or copying an established brand's product. This is not illegal. It's not an infringement on copyrights and things like that. They're not trying to be a brand. They're not like pirating a brand's image and such. So this is an interesting phenomenon. There's a lot of pros and cons of the practice. And so the specific application here is with Lululemon and how they're approaching the dupe issue. They've been duped by other companies, and so they've got a couple strategies to help combat that. And part of the idea here is that Lululemon has some certain marketing assets or resources that are being taken away, if you will, by duper brands. So duper brands are in essence nullifying or minimizing the positive effects that Lululemon's assets or resources have for them, if that makes sense. And so when that starts to happen, what should Lululemon do to recapture the strength that they have and maybe overcome some of these things? So I mean, if you can't leverage your resource, then it won't lead to a sustainable competitive advantage. And that's what's happening to Lululemon, basically. One of their resources or marketing assets is being duplicated by duper brands, and thus weakening them as a firm. So this is the application that I really want you to think about as we kind of take this concept and apply it a little bit further. Okay, so that's this week. It's wrapping up. Hopefully, you've gained some information and some basis, a little bit more about marketing strategy from this week. I think it's a great topic, and I think it helps you as a strategist and brand manager or marketing manager, anyways. Moving forward, though, I want to just highlight also that week 8, coming week. Week 8's the midpoint of the semester, the midpoint of the term, and we have our second project week. So week 8 is group stage or project stage 2, where you work as a group and you deliver the internal analysis for the firm that you have chosen. I've prepared a separate video for this, which I'll launch out there, but I just wanted to give you a preview of this, and this will serve as your kickstart for next week as well. So have fun with this. Reach out to me by all means. Schedule an appointment with me, and we'll talk about this project. And the components of it and such. If your group is struggling, the other thing I've done this week, and I feel like I need to do this, and I should have in stage 1, and I regret not doing it, but I've provided an outline that would work for your group to outline your work when you think about this internal analysis. And if you follow the outline, if you organize your paper in this way, then it'll really help focus your thoughts, but it'll also help me understand what you're working on and how you're approaching the project as well. Okay, so hopefully that helps. I think that in the first stage, there was a lot of lack of organization, and so I think this tool having an outline will help in that regard. A number of groups didn't really put a lot of depth or detail into their stage 1, and that was disappointing. So I expect more there in terms of a really strong analysis. This is a big component of your overall grade, so each of the stages is worth 50 points, and so again, collectively they add up to the project level of emphasis this should place in the term. And so each stage is important, and again, I can't emphasize enough, reach out to me if you have any questions at all. I'm happy to help out. I hope you're having a great week, and good luck with this project and your discussions, and we'll go from there. Thanks. Talk to you soon.